There continues to be more discourse around Collargate, the clip from the other day of Hasan allegedly using a shock collar on his dog Kaya. When now more streamers and personalities are weighing in, like Valkyrae, who had comments to say on her stream, who, when she brought it up, said you would think you would see this kind of outrage towards the genocide, referencing Palestine. This has become a popular thing to talk about in defense of Hasan, like even those in Hasan's subreddit pointing out that while Hasan was watching an interview of a victim of a kidnapping in Gaza, people came into his chat and started asking about the clip of him and his dog. Of course, many on the other side point out that this is an absurd and ridiculous defense, and that you can care about multiple things at once, and that it's wrong to invoke genocide in response to valid criticism. Welcome to the Internet versus Collargate, Palestine edition. It starts when Yeats tweets out this clip with the caption, Valkyrae comments on Collargate.
Oh yes, I have seen the Kaya stuff, and let me tell you, Kaya is, well, first of all, the clip did look horrible. The clip was really bad. It was so bad. And it's understandable why everyone was freaking out about it, but I can verify that Kaya is the most loved and spoiled and just the most well-trained and best little baby or big baby that I have ever been around and that I have ever seen. So big baby. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. You would think that this kind of outrage, we would have seen it towards like the genocide and stuff, but you know, this priorities in this world are not where they should be. But alas. It's herd mentality. I mean, I think from the clip, it's understandable why people were very concerned. But just knowing Hasan and knowing like how I've been around Kaya a lot and him, and I just like know that he would never ever abuse Kaya.
Insensitive Society replies, why is Valkyrae streaming? Doesn't she know there's a genocide going on right now? The fuck? Very insensitive. Shuanhead replies to the clip by saying, praying the genocide ends soon for 2 reasons. 1, it's an evil, horrible atrocity. 2, leftists won't have anything to hide behind when they are criticized. Hangman Lee replies to the clip by saying, Palestine has nothing to do with Hasan electrocuting his dog, Valkyrae. At this point, libs only invoke Palestine to deflect from any criticism. They exploit the suffering of Palestinians as a shield for garbage behavior. Tectone replies with this image saying, we have a fallacy of relative privation on the field. Just because there are worse things happening in the world doesn't mean other problems should be ignored. Madam Safi replies, at this point, I'm going to assume everyone defending Hasan is an animal abuser for the right clouds. Vat says, I don't understand this take. There has been so much global outrage towards the Palestinian genocide. There still is. None of these people talk about the genocide happening in Nigeria. It's quite literally just talking points for some people, which is disgusting. Dylan Burns quote tweets each clip by saying, I have no idea if it really was a shock collar that Hasan's dog was wearing, or if it shocked or vibrated the dog. I've been too busy to care, to be honest. But diverting immediately to a bunch of children's corpses at the first sign of trouble is a terrible look. Gross. Did I steal from the liquor store? Did I steal from the cookie jar? Did I pull that dog's tail? Where was this outrage for the war in Sudan before you started asking these stupid questions? People are dying. It's disrespectful to people's intelligence and to those suffering. Yeet also tweets out this clip with the caption, Asmongold is not a fan of online leftists using Palestine as a narcissistic shield.
He showed the comment where you said stop using Palestine as a shield. Well, I'm right. A lot of pro-Palestinian people, I think, use Palestine as a shield for bad behavior. And I think there's a lot of, narcissistic people that latch on to social movements like Palestine, and they're like little parasites, and they attach themselves to these social movements, and they suck all of the virtue, all of the value, all of the objective moral clarity out of it. And then they replace it with their own polluted image, their own stupid politics, their own self-righteousness, and they damage the cause because they don't care about the cause. They care about themselves. They care about making themselves look like being a righteous person. And I think that they do it with the pro-Palestine stuff. They do it with all kinds of things. And I find it to just be fucking embarrassing. It's absolutely fucking embarrassing, and it's pathetic. And ultimately, and this is really what matters the most, right? Is this helping the random children? Which, by the way, keep in mind, the majority of people that are in Palestine and Gaza are under 18. The majority of them, over 50% of them, are under 18. Are comments like trying to pollute the Gazan struggle of Palestinians being bombed by Israel and oppressed by Hamas, is it helping when you pollute that issue with a bullshit dog drama on Twitch?
And Keith replies, it's literally the meme, attaching this meme of Hasan with a bunch of children strapped to him, and the caption, Ethan, are you sure you want to attack my character during an act of genocide? Lydia Dietz replies to the clip by saying, yeah, bud, when I think of the beacon of virtue, value, and moral clarity, the first person I think of is definitely Asmongold, the guy who let his own mother die without helping her. Get a fucking grip, Lamau. And Spyro replies, let his own mother die, go outside and get some sun. He'd also tweets out this clip with the caption, LosPollosTV calls out Hasan and his fans for using Palestine as a shield. Says he's the worst thing to happen to Twitch.
Coordinated far-right pro-Israel slander campaign. Okay, so... Okay. If you're gonna just... no matter what happens, you can do whatever you want and then just say, oh no, the people, they're just haters. They're pro-Israel. They're Nazis. They're this, they're that. Oh, why do you care about a dog, but you don't care about a genocide? That's all I've seen for the past 24 hours, bro. Is him and all his fans making excuses and hiding behind a genocide? Like, so you're just using a thing that has nothing to do with the dog to prove what? I truly believe, I think that Hasan is the worst thing that ever happened to Twitch. I think he is arguably the worst streamer as far as like what's, you know, what people should be taking in on a daily basis. And now added to the list, I now think that he is an animal abuser because there is no reason to shot collar your dog in that matter, bro.
The Valkyrae clip we looked at earlier also gets posted to the LivestreamFail subreddit by Personal Principal 77 with the caption, Ray talks about the Kaya situation, and Jermasian Invasion replies, the genocide and stuff. And the best hater says, I don't think you can be smart or empathetic to willingly date someone like Hasan while defending his animal abuse. Guess she's letting her mask slip as well, and stuff. And No That's Cool replies, I think that ship sailed with blue light. Lol. Helpfully Darling says, bar for bar Hasan talking points. Most loved dog, check. Spoiled dog, check. Well trained, check. Big baby, check. Genocide, check. And CC Question replies, when she said Kaya was well trained, I was like, yeah, we've all fucking seen that, lol. Belth says, how dare you talk about literally anything while there's a genocide going on? And Candid Solstice replies, now back to me getting into fights about trivial shit with other e-celebs. And Zakanda Half replies, this literally happened to me in real time. I was watching a clip of Hasan explaining that it's ridiculous, disrespectful, and insensitive to even talk about anti-Semitism at all while there's a genocide going on. So I thought to myself, okay, let's see what Hasan is talking about at this exact seconds. I hop on his stream, and he's talking about the Justin Baldoni / Blake Lively case, lol, the literal day after. Chris Crollo also posts a clip on the Hasan Piker subreddit with the caption, Ray on the Kaya situation. And this clip is a little bit longer than the first one we watched, so there's a little more new comments here in this clip.
I just wish that more people would put more energy into hating like sex traffickers, genocide people with genocidal apologists, like people that are like getting raped and people that are getting killed, all these kids that are getting murdered, like pedophiles, like actual criminals. Like, where is the energy?
Okay, wall them off.
Where is it?
You got one. You got a crazy lamp or a Dart B main.
Like,
I feel like I should play B realistically. So
when I look, it's like a bunch of words are attacking me on the internet or attacking me. You know, like it's just a bunch of word vomit everywhere. Like, no, everyone on the internet is already privileged. we're so lucky, and we get to complain about all these things. Like, it's just, it's hard to care about my issues when, like, people are actually suffering.
Fucku69420 replies, Ray is fearless. Fuck that army of racists. Stand up for your friends if they are being wronged. God bless her soul. And Zipua says, her comment at the end about drama while kids are being genocided is so real. Was wild seeing the drama brigaders in Hasan's chat during the interview with a man who was kidnapped and thrown in prison for trying to give those kids food. How do the brigaders see what is being discussed on stream and realize how silly they are before they type dumb stuff in chat? And Successful War replies, it's because the people who spread this kind of stuff are happy there is a genocide. DJ Just says, W Ray. They only have pathetic, unproductive, and petty energy to give to the world. That sub should be shut down. And the emulator says, I loved that sub back in the day. It's been terrible for like 6-7 years at this point though, so I agree with you. It has only got exponentially worse since COVID too. Scion Hall says, let me preface that this isn't a criticism but more of an observation. I appreciate Ray for speaking out on this to defend Hasan. However, I just don't understand why people, including Hasan, are capitulating and saying it looked horrible and their reaction is understandable. He got a little annoyed at Kaya not staying on the bed and she coincidentally yelped randomly. He looks back in surprise, sees she's okay and just lying on the bed, and then calls her a baby jokingly. Which part looks horrible? Which part is understandable and to be concerned about animal abuse? Why give people any room to legitimize or sane-wash this insane reaction? I don't get it, honestly. And Bloody Hell says, yeah, I'm not sure why even Hasan says the clip looks bad. Having your hand off screen at the same time your dog, an unpredictable animal at the end of the day, randomly yells is not indicative of anything. Nor is not being 100% lovey-dovey towards your pet all the time an indication of literally anything either. By that logic, you can accuse anyone of any crime, any parent of child abuse. It's utterly ridiculous. And Flegel replies, it's just that the confluence of events makes it easy to read in something nefarious, especially for people who don't know Hasan or understand the situation. The clip went somewhat viral and attracted the attention of a bunch of people who don't even know who Hasan is. They just see the dog yelping at the same time his hand is doing something outside a frame and then Hasan scolding her, and they draw a connection. My point is just that aside from all the bad faith actors who know it's all bullshit and are just using it to attack, there are a significant number of casual viewers who just see the clip without any context and have a gut reaction. I think Hasan and friends are acknowledging that the latter is understandable. There is no value in getting defensive against good faith actors who just misunderstand the situation. That would only alienate them and make them think you're actually trying to cover for something nefarious. Then going back to the original tweet that Eve posted, the Foxbutt quote tweets it by saying, guys, you can't care about other things because of Palestine. How dare you? Shut the fuck up. Shut all the way to fucking all the way up. Now, while I hate to defend Hasan in any capacity, I do agree the dog looks well loved and well taken care of. We can criticize his lack of reaction to her yelp. We can even feel icky about having her sit on stream for hours on end. I won't personally go as far as to say he's an animal abuser. But holy hell, good God, you can care about more than one thing. Shut up. Like, actually shut the fuck up. A few years ago, your type of people didn't even know about Palestine. You were too busy doing the trans march, but now the trans people don't matter because it's all about Palestine. And soon Palestine won't matter because it'll be all about the next big trendy topic. So Valkyrae, sincerely from the bottom of my heart, shut the fuck up. And Valkyrae responds to this post by saying, oh, I mentioned later this stream that I do agree how he reacted to her yelping was so disappointing and it's understandable why people are concerned. And yes, of course you can care about more than one thing at once. I do see now this comes off as deflecting and takes away from the topic and focus, which I wish I could go back and reword it all or at least mention it far later in conversation. By the way, trans lives will always matter. Valkyrae also makes an independent tweet on her page where she says, fuck ICE, fuck this genocide, fuck pedos, fuck animal abuse, free Palestine, and congrats Jason for hitting 100k subs. And Caesar replies, Jason is our Matt Shalanta Labubu for real. And Ray says, Matt Shalanta Labubu, lol. Nux replies, I care about the current thing too. Nyara says, the fact that this is a controversial thing to say nowadays. And Dan from Umbrella replies, controversial. She's saying the safest shit ever in her online ecosystem. She shares the view of an average person who jumps onto whatever the newest activist viewpoint of the day. Stan Price says, fuck animal abuse. Defends Hasan Zapp and his fucking dog. Keemstar screenshots this tweet and puts it on his page with the caption, by far the most retarded tweet I have seen in years. Congrats Jason for hitting 100k subs. And he also replies with this video and the caption, do better.
Apparently there's a lot of people on X that disagree that Ray's tweet is not retarded. Trust me, it's retarded, all right? Fuck ICE, fuck genocide, fuck pedos, fuck animal abuse, free Palestine, and congrats on Jason on hitting 100k subs. I shouldn't even have to explain how fucking retarded it is. That is retarded. By the way, fuck ICE. That's a big issue right now, but it's a bit complicated. No one likes to see these families broken up and kidnapped and taken out of the country. But also, it's a very complicated issue because you need to come to the country legally, right? Fuck genocide. Everyone is against genocide. Fuck pedos. Everybody is against pedos. Fuck animal abuse. abuse? Who's over here supporting animal abuse? This is insane. She's not brave. She's not taking a stance. Free Palestine. No shit. The things that have happened to the Palestinian people are horrible and could be labeled genocide. This is all pretty much common sense stuff. It's let me get a bunch of stuff that's like really bad going on in the world and let me say I'm against it, and congrats to Jason for hitting 100K subs. That's stupid. She's not actually saying fuck genocide, fuck pedos, fuck animal abuse. What she's trying to say is, I'm Ray, I'm a good person. I'm against the bad things and I support the current thing. And shout out to Jason for hitting 100K subs. That's retarded. Do better.
Destiny quote tweets Valkyrae by saying, "Not a single original thought in any of these streamer demons' heads." He tweets out this clip with the caption, "Hasan ponders why Destiny's scandal didn't get the same amount of attention as his."
Yeah, it is kind of wild that like Destiny in a court of law, in official court documents, was outed as procuring CSAM, child sexual abuse material, and it didn't even get a fucking fraction of the interest of people claiming falsely that I'm like fucking abusing my dog. I don't know why. I just have the tendency to basically bring out Pizzagate style conspiracies, even amongst normies in general.
And Donut Operator replies, "Everyone with half a brain cell fucking hates both of you." He also tweets out this Instagram story from Ethan Klein with the caption, "Ethan Klein ponders how Hasan's orbit would act if he were the one who shocked his dog live." And it's Ethan saying, "Imagine, one day I'm sitting at my desk doing my live show as usual. Suddenly, one of my dogs laying behind me tries to get up and walk out of frame. I scold my dog for moving while I reach across the desk. My body language indicates that I've reached whatever object I'm aiming for. At the exact same time, my dog yelps out in pain. I show no concern from my dog. The opposite. I continue to fume at my dog for moving. My dog exhibits fear and returns to their spot. Now, Anissa, Idubs, Taylor Lorenz, Mike from PA, and every shit-tier Hasan dick rider across all social media. How do you suppose they would react?" He also tweets out this clip with the caption, "Ethan Klein concludes that Hasan has anger issues."
Is a song getting mad at Kaya for getting up, which we know Hasan considers to be an absolute cardinal sin. How dare you stand?
What do you want? Okay, fine. You can get off.
Why is he so angry at his poor dog? This dog is so sweet. If one of my dogs came up to me when I stream like that, looking for some attention, I'm overjoyed. I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
What a beautiful, what a precious moment.
Well, it's just a bigger question. Like, I don't watch all of Hasan's content. I'm not part of this world, but like, why is he so angry? The dude, you said he's got a housekeeper. He's a multimillionaire. He's got a successful YouTube channel.
He has anger issues.
Fucking everyone glazes him in the media. Like, I don't know. Girls are sending him nudes all day. Like, what's the problem he has?
This is the part that's so maddening, is that on its face, he has issues. He treats his chat like this. He yells at his chat. He abuses his chat. And people, for some reason, just don't care. And you'll see people hopefully will start making compilations of just how unhinged he is, how gross of a human being he is. But you can see just how angry he's getting at his poor, defenseless, sweet dog who's just coming to him for just a small amount of attention.
And Gilly replies, "Ethan looks like such a Zionist sometimes. Wow." There's also this clip with the caption, "Ethan Klein calls out Anissa for going after him in Collargate and defending Hasan."
You know, and they do.
They do.
Right? You know, no shot callers. Look at them. So sweet. So sweet. I love them so much. But yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Anissa, and talk about me. That's super fucking relevant. You dumb fuck. You pathetic. And by the way, if my wife was simping this hard for another man, boy, I would be. And listen, I'm a very secure guy, and I don't get jealous. And I would say if Hila was out here, because she did not go this hard for her own husband. When her own husband's being accused of stuff, she's like, no, he smells like shit. No, he's bad. He doesn't know anything. He smells like shit. He has tonsil stones. He stinks. He's a bad boxer. He never had a chance of beating Dr. Mike, she said on camera. You never had a chance of beating Dr. Mike, she said to him, after he came out of the ring with brain damage. But now it's Hasan's on camera reaching for a button at the exact moment his dog yelps out in pain. And it's, yeah, but what about Ethan?
Is that a good strategy in life?
There was also another drama with this user by the name of poopernoodle, who took pictures of herself with her dog and captioned a tweet saying, "Reminder that pets should never be props on your stream or in your content. They should be allowed to come and go as they please. Their worlds are only as big as you make them. All they have is you." And she got a backlash on this tweet, so she ended up deleting it and making this post with the caption, "I deleted the tweet. It's just not worth the harassment to my mental health. I hate seeing dogs in pain. My dog is a huge part of my content. That's why I felt I could say something. Sorry to anyone I upset or offended, but I'm not sorry for speaking about animal abuse." And Stumpy replies, "The replies were so weird calling you a right-wing grifter, Lamau. I don't even know how they reached that conclusion." And Poopernoodle says, "You should have seen my DMs. I had people threatening me to delete the tweet, so I just gave up, to be honest. I'd rather spend my time playing with my dog than fighting people on Twitter." And Rohan replies, "Do you eat animals?" And Poopernoodle says, "I don't eat dogs." And Rohan says, "Are dogs the only animals you care about being abused?" And so Shiki says, "Who the fuck cares, buddy? It might be hard for you, but stick to the topic." And Rohan says, "The topic is animal abuse, so bringing up animal abuse seems pretty relevant." Tectone quote tweets Poopernoodle by saying, "Hasan's defense force harassed this woman to the point of deleting her own tweets, when she just wanted a dog to be treated properly. This is how he controls the narrative. This is how he continues." And WTF Auntie says, "Hasan Diddy Bin Laden baby oiled Hitler Piker is on his last leg. He is so desperate he needs to silence anyone opening their mouths about his blatant abuses. It's so over for him." Nyara tweets out these pictures with the caption, "I don't care about the evidence because I made up my mind already. The prongs can't be removed. Hasan said years ago he would never use a shot collar. No instances in the 3 years Kai has been a part of the stream. But people believe the likes of Tectone who abuse women. Or they believe Asmongold who said it's justified to run over protesters, and that Palestinians deserve to be genocided because they come from an inferior culture. They also believe Nuxtaku who directly benefits from the genocide in Gaza and revolves his content around stalking and slandering Hasan, just like H3. And Turbo Trash replies with these pictures in the caption, "The screws are glued in and can be removed within 30 seconds with a wrench. That is a fucking electrical tape. It doesn't even match the make and model of the vibrate-only model. You are evil." XQC quote tweets Nara by saying, "All of you keep missing the most important piece of evidence. The collar from day 1 was either fully replaceable or reconstructed differently, tampered, compared to the one from day 2. How often does he change the setup? Explain it." Then he attaches these two images, one from a picture of Kaya that was a few months ago, along with this picture of Hasan holding the collar. And Fiend replies, "This is flawed because the image on the right is from June, so he possibly changed it between now and June, yeah." And XQC says, "June? What are you on about? This is literally hours apart." And Fiend says, "Hours apart, different outfit and a few things in the background are changed," attaching the first and second image. And XQC says, "Actually true, apologies, I'm not on the computer, I got my pics wrong." Reaver replies to XQC's original post by saying, "Bro, it's literally just upside down. Stop trying to get out of paying that 50K. And XQC says, "Upside down? Man, you guys aren't even trying. Legit AI reasoning. It cannot be upside down. There's two components. If it were upside down, the tag would be under, not over." And Reverb says, "Dude, are you serious? Look at how it is positioned in his hand. He is holding upside down compared to the previous photo." And Justin says, "It has to do with the light. There's only one light, therefore it cannot be upside down." Thigh Cub Hub replies to XQC's original post by saying, "Jesus Christ, you people are psychotic. Who cares? Get a life." And XQC replies, "Is someone lying about something seemingly so small in the grand scheme of things, triple down and make a video about it too? What makes you think they are truthful in anything they do or say? Can't get basic level 1 accountability." And Thigh Cub Hub says, "Dude, you make a living on pushing gambling to kids. What accountability do you have?" Nyara replies to XQC by quoting him and saying, "Are you saying it's a different color to justify not donating the 50K to an animal shelter like you promised, or?" And X-Court replies, "He could donate 100K and it would mean nothing to you because you run defense for someone who uses a shock collar to keep their dog in bed." And Nyara says, "He'd do something good for change with his blood money, which I'd highly appreciate." He tweets out this clip with the caption, "Asmongold thinks Hasan is one of, if not the most, toxic communities on the internet."
His community is extremely toxic. They are extremely hostile. How do I know that? Because they've gone after me. They've gotten mad at me. I would say that Hasan probably has, and I'm sure he would say that I probably have one of the most toxic, if not the most toxic communities on the internet. Like I would say, I mean, to an extent. And why is that? Is it because there's a lot of people that watch us? Maybe that's it. I don't know. But either way, like, his community is extremely toxic, hyper aggressive. They love, as soon as somebody is like, they're calling Charlie a Nazi, a right winger, and all this stuff because he brought this stuff up. This is, what the fuck are you doing? Like whenever you're a community and you're going to that length and you're getting that radical about something, what ends up happening is that like there's a lot of, again, like just reasonable people that are in the middle that see this and they're like, wow, that's kind of weird. Like what the fuck? And so also a lot of other content creators don't want to criticize somebody like Hasan because Hasan's community is hyper aggressive. They are very vigilant. They will go out and make tweets about you and accuse you of things that are just totally fucking insane. Just say slanderous, awful things about you for really no reason other than you being on the wrong side of a certain issue. So that's really, yeah, find your personal info too. Exactly. Yeah, you've got more and more and more of that. And that's the big reason why a lot of his friends probably don't call him out on this. I mean, and maybe some of them agree with her. They think it's not happening. But I'm sure, like, why is it that nobody's ever criticized this outside of, like, you know, the people that are around, like, kind of like my circle, I guess? Well, the reason why is because they don't want to be victims of that type of harassment. And I think this is something that happens on the internet as a meta level thing. This isn't something that Hasan has a monopoly on, but a lot of people don't criticize larger creators because they're afraid of getting attacked by their audience.
Then Hasan tweets out this image, captioning it by announcing his next stream, just talking about the Gaza ceasefire deal. And the image is him wearing a hat and Kaya getting zapped and on fire in the background. And Wireless replies to this image in the caption, "This meme would have been better." And Hasan edited it onto Bill Clinton saying, "I did not have electrical relations with that dog." Trigger Point quote tweets Hasan by saying, "His audience is so stupid that he can blatantly joke about torturing his dog." And Punish Billy says, "He thinks torturing a dog is funny, by the way." Kick Streaming also tweets out this picture with the caption, "Hasan's Halloween costume sorted." And Jalen quote tweets it, which Hasan also retweeted, where Jalen says, "Someone got killed live on your platform this year." And George replies, "Yeah, and Twitch broadcasted a mass shooting." And Jalen says, "I actually forgot about that, damn." Saint Fish says, "I still find it weird Twitch allowed Birth to be broadcasted." And Jalen says, "Birth is beautiful." And 3D Blu-ray Enjoyer says, "Well, people care more about Heckin' Doggos getting slightly hurt, something that he didn't even do, than human beings dying." And Jalen says, "Those people are irrational." PETA also made a statement when he tweets it out with the caption, "PETA gave a statement to the Hollywood Reporter about Collargate." And here it says, "Now, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals is weighing in." In a statement to the Hollywood Reporter, the advocacy group says, quote, "Hasan Piker has denied using a shock collar on his dog, and we hope that's true because the shock collars are dangerous and downright cruel. They put dogs at risk of burn wounds, chronic anxiety, and displaced aggression," end quote. PETA added, quote, "Positive reinforcement is a far more effective training method and doesn't betray our animal companions' trust in us," end quote. Shout out to our tier 3 members, internet representatives Kiko, Salsal, Coldest Bandito, and Captain Crash Out. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you all in the next episode.